News, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Having ourselves a pretty good day here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent, enjoying the sun. John, I got a funny feeling today's the day of sun.
Well,
the rest of the week.
At least it came out on the holiday.
At
right?
least. So a lot of people can enjoy it. Of course, we're enjoying it. Hey, we'll take it. Temperatures warming up just a little bit. Over the weekend, we had some really nice temperatures and very pleasant days, too. We were looking at high 40s, low 50s around the state of Michigan. Got rid of a lot of that mess that we had last week. But lo and behold, Mother Nature says, not so quick. We'll talk about that in just a second. Right now, what are we looking at?
Well, right now, it's still well above 30 here. At the airport, they're reporting 36 degrees. Downtown Midlands at 35. Here at Radio Center, we're at 37. North winds 3 miles per hour or calm, depending on your reporting station in this area. Do you think we'll break 40 today?
Yep. I think we will. We'll come close anyway. With the help of some sun, if we can keep the sun longer, we'll hit it.
Yeah.
If the clouds move in like they're supposed to, we might not. We might get another couple degrees out of it, and that's going to be it. Downtown Bay City right now is looking at 37 degrees. Everybody is taking a look at the headlines. They're seeing what is in store for us the next few days. Once again, there's probably, for every forecaster out there, there's a little bit different slant as to what they think, but it does appear as though this system is going to be tracking a little bit further to the south. So we're going to be looking at a much better chance of seeing more snow than the ice, but you don't have to go too far south. And again, we're going to be looking at some ice mixed in, some light rain. Temperatures, today, about 38, 39 degrees. Tonight, we're not really going to get all that cold. We're only going to drop down to about 30, but some real light traces of snow are going to be cutting through for a good part of the evening hours later on this evening. And we are going to begin to see the winds pick up once again. We've had a heck of a time with these winds. And then on top of the mess that we got last week, we had the strong gusty winds coming out of a bad direction, out of the north, the northeast, the east, the northwest. And once again, as we move into the middle part of the week, we're going to be looking at the wind direction changing on Tuesday night, especially after midnight, coming out of the east at about 20 miles per hour. And then we're looking at east winds all day Wednesday into Wednesday night. And Thursday, we're going to be seeing temperatures move up just a little bit above the freezing mark on Thursday. So that means with all the moisture that's coming at us, we're going to look at snow cover first and then some sleet and some freezing rain because the surface is going to be cold. So that's going to be more of the freezing stuff than just the plain old wet. So Thursday looks like a real menagerie. And then Thursday night, 10 degrees for a low. So once again, we're going to have a system move through. This one has got a lot more potential for turbulence. And I'm not talking so much Michigan as you get a little bit further south. You get down into the Ohio River, the Tennessee Valley, down toward the Gulf. They're going to be looking at some really nasty weather. Why? Because, get a load of this. Projected high temperatures now. We are talking, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, as we move into the middle part of the week, 74 degrees, all the way down into Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, the middle of the week, 84. Memphis, Tennessee, 81. Evansville, Indiana, that's right down in the southwest corner of Indiana, 75. New Orleans, they are going to have the warmest ever in recorded history Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday,
Really?
tomorrow. And by, I want to say Wednesday, it's going to be 84 degrees in New Orleans. Just to give you an idea, tomorrow's high temperature will be 80. The record high is 83 for New Orleans. That was set way back in 1917
Wow.
and then tied in 1932. So it's been a long time since they've had a Fat Tuesday where it has been this warm. Now, if it was in March, that'd be a different story, but we're talking February here.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit earlier as far as Punchki Day goes, and just record high temperatures are close to it all around. Orlando, Florida, 91 is their projected high temperature for Wednesday. Washington, D.C., 80. Raleigh, North Carolina, 86. Atlanta, 80. So you kind of get the idea. That's on the front side. On the back side, they've got temperatures, record-breaking low temperatures. Denver, we're looking at St. Louis, projected high of 59. Kansas City, a projected high of 29.
Wow.
So you're talking from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Of looking at a big temperature variance, and that just simply breeds all sorts of nasty weather. Record lows all the way from California to Minnesota to Minneapolis. It's going to snow in the Hollywood Hills this week. There's going to be a couple of storm systems affecting them. So ice is in the forecast for, I want to say, South Dakota, southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa, southern Wisconsin, and that'll be moving into the southern third of the Lower Peninsula over, I want to say, from Tuesday night till Thursday morning is what we're going to be looking at there. So all in all, it's going to be really interesting. The temperature variances this time around are much greater than what they were the last time.
And much closer together, it seems
yes,
like.
much closer together. Now, Los Angeles, it's going to be record cold temperatures for them tonight and tomorrow night. And as I said, the Hollywood Hills, they're going to be getting some snow showers and snow flurries, which they have had in the past, but quite frankly, not this late.
No.
In the season. So, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the water because they have had plenty of it in the western half of the continental United States. A little bit later on, we're going to talk about the water in the Mississippi, and it's good news for the shipping industry out there. So we'll be chit-chatting about that as well. Our temperatures over the weekend around here, anywhere from 8 to 12 degrees above average. We're not really going to be dropping all that much. I mean, average by the end of February is 36 in the afternoon and 21 at night. So we can be a little bit below average, and that's going to make us the middle 30s. But still, it is going to be long-term as we go through the end of the month and into the first 5 days of March. We're going to be real close to normal as far as our temperatures go and above average as far as the moisture pattern goes. And we're owing all of this activity to a high pressure system, which is way off in the Atlantic Ocean. But it's a huge high pressure system.
It must be.
And with that clockwise circulation, that's what's pulling all that warm air up into the southeastern third of the continental United States and creating kind of a back jam of cold air, which is coming down over the western part of the country, and it's got nowhere to go except up, northeast, heading up in that direction. So very interesting phenomenon over the next several days. If you had some issues this past week, hopefully you've been able to rectify a lot of that, and because we are going to have a situation again kicking in. I think it's going to move in later in the day on Wednesday. We're going to be flirting with a little activity, as I said, late tonight and early tomorrow morning, but that's just going to be flurries and just a little bit here and there. But the winds and the precipitation are really going to kick in later in the day on Wednesday night. The Michigan Wheat Board has got their field day, well, not field day, but annual meeting That's going to be on Wednesday. They should be able to get that in without any problems at the research farm. We'll be broadcasting there. Tomorrow, not a problem at all. We'll add an extra punchki so we don't blow away in the wind. That kicks off at about, Punchki Day kicks off at like 5 a.m. at Krijak's.
Yeah.
And we'll be broadcasting along with Art Lewis there starting at about 6 or so. And then we'll have Coffee with Corn. We're going to be talking about drone technology. That will be tomorrow on Coffee with Corn starting at 8 and going until 9. That's going to be on our Facebook. And then at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be taking off and going to the Doubletree because the Beaten Bean Symposium is going to be going on at the Doubletree tomorrow. So kind of a busy day. Good thing it's Tuesday and not Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah. And then we're going to wrap up things on Friday. We're going to be out in Carroll. We'll preview the Thumb Area Old Engine and Tractor Association's toy sale and event, which is going to be on Saturday. So
busy.
Looks like we're going to be dodging a bullet here. Let the storm happen in between everything. We don't want to mess things up. Record high in this state, incidentally, is 62. That was set back in 1930. The record low is 15 below zero, set in 2015. And for those of you who are kind of interested in a little bit of history, we had 5 record-breaking low temperatures over the last 12 days of February in 2015. So February 2015 finished up really cold, record cold for us in the Great Lakes Bay area. Back in 1918, there were 4 record lows. In 1979, 3 record lows. And in 1934, 3 record lows for February. More on the record books and all that stuff with the weather coming up in a minute. But what we're going to do is after the break, we're going to slide over to Star of the West, Gary Kaufman. The markets are closed today due to the President's Day, but Gary's got a little insight for us as to what we can be looking at as we move forward and what happened over the past month here so far. All of that coming up.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the Michigan Corn Growers Association, the Corn Marketing Board. Again, a reminder, tomorrow morning, Coffee with Corn. We're going to be talking about drone technology and the use of drones. Weather brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions, and Scott Dumas with Nutrien is going to be a featured speaker tomorrow at the Beaten Bean. So we're looking forward to talking to him and hearing his presentation. Gary Kaufman on the line with us right now?
Yes, he is. Markets are closed. But Gary, how are you doing today?
Well, good morning there, gentlemen. Doing well, thank you. It's a kind of a catch-up day today for sure. So.
Yes, it is. Oh, speaking of ketchup, do you like ketchup on your punchkis?
Well, no, I'd rather have the flavor of the punchki. I can keep the ketchup off those for sure.
And I'm just wondering how many different flavors we're going to have this year. Last few years, I think Krijak's has had about 7.
Wow.
7 different flavors.
Yeah. And if you're like me, Terry, I like all flavors. So.
Yep. Well, and one year I answered the challenge. I had every flavor that they had at Punchki's, and I still remember it.
Well, I'm sure you do. It didn't probably sit well.
Of course, Jonathan brought up a really important point. And, we talk about all the major crops here in Michigan.
Yeah, we're going to be covering them all tomorrow. We've got beans, we got beets, we got corn, we got punchkis.
Yeah.
They're all the major crops that we grow here in Michigan.
Yeah. There you go.
We like to support each and every one of them.
You betcha. I support it 100%. As far as the markets go, yeah, everything is closed up today, but there's a few lessons that we've been picking up over the past few weeks, isn't there?
Yeah, if you looked at the ranges of the market here in the last 30 days, I just kind of reviewed that here quick this morning, Terry. We've had probably, in corn, it's been a 40-cent range from high to low. And currently, the high was 768, and we're at 678. So we're only down a dime off the highs. It's been tracking upward. Wheat, for the other hand, we've been high low. It's been about 85 cents in the last 30 days. Currently futures are trading at 765, and that's off the high here of about 798. So we're down about 33 cents or so off the high. And then looking at soybeans, 30-day range has been about 81 cents. 15.55 was the high, and we're trading at 15.27. So we're kind of towards the high end of the range in the last 30 days for sure. And the market news in general has kind of been the same. As we look at corn, that there in itself. I mean, export demand's been adding a little bit of support. It's been getting better. It hasn't been great. We're seeing a little bit more Chinese business. And we're watching the crop progress prospects in South America and some of the uncertainty of the Black Sea exports, continue to hang over the market. All those things are, being watched at this point in time. So
yeah. So how did we finish on Friday as far as what you have on the board, Gary?
Yeah, Friday was kind of somewhat of a mixed market day, but cash wheat was actually unchanged, Terry, at 725 on the white, 675 on the red. New crop also unchanged at 756 on the white, 706 on the red. Cash corn was up 2 at 623. New crop was up 3 at 536. Cash soybeans unchanged at 1452, and new crop was up 2 at 1321.
All righty. You have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Well, no, we won't. On Wednesday or around somewhere.
Somewhere's around later in the week.
Yeah. We know where we can get a hold of you.
I know what you're thinking about. Those punskis just got you all messed up.
It sure is. Talk to you later. All right. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Market report today brought to you by John.
Brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, the Great Lakes Bay certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans, and ordering is the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank. They've been serving agriculture for over 125 years. They've got 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And all jokes aside, Terry, we do grow a lot of things here in Michigan, and you got to wonder how much of a hand does Michigan Sugar Company have in the creation of all the wonderful punchkis that we'll be eating tomorrow? So
let's just put it this way. There's a big smile on their face.
I'm sure.
And a big smile on a lot of other people's faces as well. As we mentioned, and Jonathan, you just mentioned Michigan Sugar Company. They're going to be a part of the Bean and Beat Day over at the Doubletree tomorrow. Our broadcast will kick off a little bit after 10 o'clock. And of course, we'll be doing our farm program, brought to you in part by the folks from Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years, by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions. And again, as we said, Scott Dumas will be featured speaker in the morning session. So stop by and give a listen to that. And also the folks at the Rummel Agency. We always talk to Craig Voorhees on Tuesdays, so we plan on doing that as well. More coming up. In particular, we're going to be talking about a situation that had really been a problem over the past year or so, and that was low water in the Mississippi River. Well, things are getting a little bit better. When we return, Eric Pfeiffer with Michigan Ag Today has a conversation with a couple of folks, one in particular, to talk about what's going on now in the Mississippi River.
As a farmer, you're always thinking ahead, planning and preparing for the next season. You know that a profitable yield depends on weather and timing. While Morgan Composting can't control the weather, they can save you time. From enhancing your soil before planting season with Dairy Dew compost blends to boosting growth with Dairy Dew granulated fertilizers and finishing the growing season strong with powerful liquid foliants made with kelp, humic, and fulvic acid. Morgan Composting has everything you need to get things going and get things growing in a complete package. Whether your farming operation is a greenhouse, an orchard, or thousands of acres of row crops, save time by getting your entire fertility plan made in one place. Morgan Composting, serving Michigan farmers for more than 25 years. Call the soil health experts now at Morgan Composting or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Dairy Dew.
Some of these vessels had to be dug out or just simply had to wait until water levels rose. And so they were just sitting there with soybeans or other agricultural products waiting for water levels to rise.
And that's Mike Steenhoek, Executive Director of the Soy Transportation Coalition, talking about the drought of 2022 and the impact it had on key U.S. waterways. He says some much-needed precipitation has commodities moving again.
When you look at Memphis, Tennessee, for example, which was arguably one of the ground zero locations for the low water conditions last fall, we're currently at 10.5 feet of water depth in relation to the gauge. Last year at this time, we were at 19 feet, so we're below where we were last year. But just to give that some perspective, in late October, we were at almost a negative 11 feet. We're easily 20 plus feet better now than we were in late October. So that's a significant increase.
While levels have begun to rise, there's still a long way to go to get back to normal levels in the inland waterway system.
We have returned to a healthy degree of normalcy, but it won't take a lot of sustained dry conditions to all of a sudden tip us back into low water conditions, which can impact navigation, particularly in that critical area of St. Louis to Cairo, Illinois. Cairo is significant because that's where the Ohio River meets up with the Mississippi River and provides a big influx of water into the systems.
And while levels aren't quite where shippers want them to be, Steenhoek says goods are moving regularly up and down the waterways. For now.
But again, I think the concern is we don't have a lot in the tank. We don't have this big margin that we can enjoy. So if we did have a sustained period of dry weather, it could really tip us back into lower water conditions, which would then impede navigation.
Steenhoek adds that soy export volumes are very comparable, even a bit higher this year versus the same period last year, which he says is really, really good news.
That was Eric Pfeiffer from Michigan Ag Today. Along with me, Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. And Chuck, they're talking about the dry weather out in the central part of the continental United States, and it looks like they're going to continue to get dry weather. We had drier weather here in Michigan, but for the most part, it wasn't all that bad, was it?
No, it wasn't. We got some rains last fall, and even though we haven't got much snow this winter, we've had a few times where we've gotten rain, and as long as we get some rain this spring, I think we're going to be in pretty decent shape for moisture.
You know, it does look like a lot of folks are going to continue to entertain in the backyards this year. It's been a tradition now for some folks ever since COVID initiated all the changes. And for you folks this year, it once again has been pretty busy as far as the outdoor furniture.
Yeah, outdoor living is a very fast-growing category for us, and we're adding to it all the time. And we've had quite a few people in the last couple of weeks looking for furniture, placing orders. And I think if the mild temperatures continue and we don't get too much more snow, even though we're going to get some more this week, we'll see a steady influx the month of March.
So at this stage of the game, now's the time to order, or now's the time to take a look at what you have?
Definitely. Ordering lead times are quite low right now. Pollywood, for example, was at 1 to 3 weeks. I had 6 or 7 orders I ordered a week ago, and they shipped today. So things are really are shipping quite fast right now. But I can guarantee as we get farther into the season, the lead times are going to start crawling up.
Chuck Cervinsky from Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. Chuck, you take care. Have a great week, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Jerry Samalski on with us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. A little bit of a weather break in the action here, Jerry.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm looking at the temperatures coming up for Wednesday and Thursday. My gosh, I've never seen them holding at 28, 29, 30 degrees for like a day and a half, 2 days straight. That's kind of unusual. So that's kind of good on our plants. I was meeting with some guys down in from Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky area last week, and they were telling me that they went from 60 degrees one day, and 2 days later they were minus like 10, 15. So they're going to have some plant losses there. Terry, have we seen minus any at all this year?
Very little. We've had a couple of days, but that's been about it. And I think those days are gone. I think they're long gone.
I do too. So, if it's been minus, it's only been minus a degree or two. And so zone 5 plants is minus 20. So most of our plants are zone 5. Things are going to do quite well this year, I think. And we should have little windburn and things. I think we're going to bode pretty well.
All right. Jerry, thanks a lot. You take care. Have a great day. All righty. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios,